Hello and welcome back. Jumpy coming at you once again with some more Myst. We have just headed up the mysterious hallway and have ended up at what looks like a lift. A lift in Myst. Let's see if we can hop inside and see where it'll take us. Of course, you gotta close the door before you can use the lift. Safety first. Will this lift take us to the library? I think we're already in the library. Now it seems we're in the tower. A picture of a book turning pages. Let's have a look. Let's take a look. It's in a book. That looks like it could be the gears, which we have pointed towards using the painting. So that means we're lined up properly. Let's take a look behind this lift. Oh, it's a key. 240-221. I have no idea what that means, so I'm sure we will find out. 240-221 gears. I know the methods behind most of these puzzles, but I don't remember the exact solutions to all of them. So it's going to be as much a exploration for myself as it is for you. Let's head back out and see if we can't 240-221 with this gear system. And now these books come into purpose. We have what looks like it says the Channelwood Age. The Stone Skip Age. I can't even read that one. And one more down here. I believe this is the book about the island that we are on. Rhyme. Rhyme, I have called it. A desolate age with a beauty that is quite different than I had expected or imagined. The intricate feathers of ice that fall from the sky are awe-inspiring. I feel as though I could sit and watch them for hours. And though it is cold here, like I've never experienced before, I find myself enjoying the change of temperature, for it is unlike any other place that I have ever seen. Perhaps the oddest thing is the silence. Although the wind blows on occasion, you can hear it in the background now. When it ceases, there is a suffocating silence that falls on this place, broken only by the distant cries of unseen creatures. Oh, no, this is not right. This is the extra age that they added in the remake, which is not necessarily the best thought out. But I believe we can head to... Let's investigate, shall we? It doesn't look like this gear age has any book corresponding to it. Unless, oh, there we go, the gear age, hiding down in the corner. Before arriving in this age, I was determined that it would be a journey to a world very different from my previous adventures, and it was. The sky here is dark and grey, and incessantly displays flashes of lightning in the distance. I met a very old man with a long beard and hair that hangs to his waist. He is very feeble and has trouble even moving. This man has obviously been through very many things in this strange world, and I have learned many things from him. He has told me an interesting story of this world's history. Years ago, he told me, there was a beautiful city that rose up out of the water. It housed many people inside its walls, and the people had everything they wished for. The city was surrounded by 3 high hills which rose higher than the city. On the east hill of the city rested a large lookout post. The people of the city had constructed the post expecting visitors to arrive from the east. The people had no means of travelling on the water, which forced them to merely wait for friend or foe, so they expected people from the east. As time passed, friendly visitors brought rumours of an enemy that existed beyond the horizon. The people grew fearful, yet nothing happened. One day, the usually sunny sky became as dark as night, and black ships appeared on the horizon. The lookout post's attempts at peace were turned away, and the sentries there were easily overwhelmed. The ships continued to wreak havoc on the city, apparently destroying everyone and everything. After the foundations of the city were destroyed, the city sunk deep into the ocean, and only the lookout post remained. The black ships sailed away. The man continued to say that 8 people had hidden and managed to survive through the attack. In the 9 years since the attack, 2 of the survivors had died. He also said that it was rumoured that 10 years from the attack, the enemy would return to finish the destruction they had started so long ago. I have decided, since hearing the man's story, it would be admirable to save this civilization and stop this enemy's plan of destruction. I am excited about the adventure that awaits me, and an idea has sparked in my mind to provide the needed defence for these people. I met the remaining survivors today, and I have begun work on a plan for protection. Alright, it looks like some sort of floor plan with a gear room, but it doesn't look like there's a door into the gear room. Something that is in the middle, which looks like it might even rotate. After a short absence, I have returned to this age with my 2 sons. They have, as of yet, travelled rarely with me, and they are understandably excited to be here. They have grown considerably since Everdunes, and it is already obvious to me that they will be a great help this time, instead of the nuisance they have been in the past. All 3 of us, along with 4 of the healthier survivors, begin construction today. We are building upon the old city's ruins, which will provide a perfect foundation for our fortress. My sons have been spending much of their spare time on the South Island, where most of my materials are stored. I am very pleased with their intelligence, and their creativity is refreshing to see as they work on some small projects of their own. It has been over 4 months now, and it looks like some stairs that move up, I guess? Maybe a concealed staircase? Or something you could raise in the event of a siege. It has been over 4 months now, and construction is going well. My sons love the world, except for its grey sky. They detest the grey sky, and tell me many times they wish the sky here were like the blue sky in Myst. The old man I first talked to tells me that the enemy is due in 4 months. I feel we will be ready when the time comes. The man reminds me of Emmett in many ways, and I often wonder how Emmett and his people are doing. It has been 6 months of work, and we have finally finished the fortress. It rests between the 3 hills, which are now only islands due to a rising water level that the people experienced after the attack. Inside the fortress, I have designed a most intriguing device. It makes use of a technology called holography. I began experimenting with on my visits to Aspermere. It will be working in a couple of days after I compensate for some small miscalculations. This holographic device will enable the survivors to learn to use the fortress. So it sounds like there's some sort of holograph that is a teaching mechanism. We have power. As power increases, the track slope, that looks like WNES. So something about rotations and points of the compass. It looks like it might lock in the different rotations. The enemy is due to come soon, and I trust the fortress will provide sufficient protection for all of us. Alright, so it looks like this fortress can rotate between east, north, west on a track. It looks like there might be something on each of the islands. The black ships have come. Their attack was substantial. Their weapons have been stopped, and it appears that they have turned away in defeat. I could not help but smile as I watched the boats leave. There's an insignia as a moon and a dagger, possibly? Last night we had a small celebration, and the old survivors danced their dances of old. My sons did not understand why the sky had not turned back to its original blue. The old man told them that the storms would never end until the enemy was destroyed. I assured my sons that a blue sky was not worth the risk of death, and they seemed to hear me. I have had a healthy adventure and have begun work on a new book. Once again, I must leave a familiar age in search of a new universe I have begun. I've begun? Does he begin universes? Is this God writing? But first, I will have an extended time with Catherine, whom I miss very much, and possibly his wife. I must also return to the people of the tide. I believe in my travels I have found a substance that will ease the pain of their bone ailments that they have long endured. I hope to return to mechanical age one day and find the population growing and my fortress still strong. Though the sky may always be black, I am confident the people here feel a heavier darkness has been lifted from their shoulders. And that's it for the book. Alright, so let's see if we can't investigate. Alright, so we have the numbers 240, which could be a time, it could be a Bible passage, and 221, which almost sound like coordinates of some sort. We can continue investigating. Sounds like the birds are coming up, maybe a daytime is coming. It looks like we have a spaceship over here. And maybe another marker switch. Is that a ladder? Can we head in this direction possibly? Looks like we can. And we can't do anything here, but there's obviously must be something here. Maybe we just haven't unlocked it yet. A ladder with some sort of breaker for power. Alright, so there's still a lot of this island we have yet to explore. If we head down this path, it looks like there are some various symbols which we can turn green or red. Different symbols like a beetle or an anchor. And in the center, it's like a sunken boat with just a crow's nest sticking above the water. This is very good, hinting towards another certain sunken boat with just a crow's nest above the water. So it would come to it would be a good guess that this puzzle here has something to do with that sunken ship, but again we have no clue how to solve it yet. Looks like there's another ladder behind another of these. Power poles with another breaker, so there might be something to do with those breaker switches. It seems to lead into this underground something. Oops. It's one of the things about this game with the point and clicking. Sometimes you point and click and it takes you through a log animation that you didn't mean to. Alright, looks like some sort of underground. Power station or something. Play around with these buttons. Yes, we got 10 on the left and 10 on the right. 11, 13, up to 35, 42, 50, oh, 66 and 0. I guess we, again with the sound cues, everything suddenly stopped, so we must have overloaded something. Let's try turning them off. Come back on again. No, still nothing, so I guess we broke it. Those power breakers might have something to do with it. But it looks like, that was an odd motion blur. On the left we'll have power, on the right we have power to ship. And we have these different generator switches, but the power to ship, so that must have something to do with that spaceship, judging by where the power cord leads to. But seeing as we don't have to worry about the ship quite yet, we will come back to them later. I've turned that marker switch. So have a look here. Another marker switch. And oh, you can head around behind. It looks like there's some sort of enclosure here with a large tree that isn't planted, I guess. It's just sticking up out of the ground. Oh, that's some odd lighting effects. I guess the torch is behind the wall here. But we can look up the tree. Nothing up there, just a big old tree. Might have something to do with this log cabin. Let's investigate, shall we? Oh, there we go. There's the tree right there. There's always things behind us in this game. So it looks like we have typical point-and-click adventure. 3 number, escape the room, combination, lock. We have a wheel that we can turn. That says PSI, some sort of pressure or boiler, but doesn't look like we can do anything with it yet, so I'm sure we'll come back to this. And the last thing on the island, a clock. Now, remember, it seems like we had a time in the top of the tower before. What was it? 2:40. Let's give it a go, shall we? I apparently don't know the difference between hour and minute hands. Let's turn this around to 2:40 and give the button a push. And there we go. And it's got gears which relate it to the mechanical age. There's a large gear around the base of this clock tower, which again will help clue you on to the fact that it is the mechanical age that it relates to, and it looks like this is the last marker switch on the island too. Can't head around behind the door, so let's have a look. Nothing behind the door here. And here we go, our first puzzle that we have. We can pull this lever, which is a reset lever. We got 1, 2, and 3 on these gears. We can pull it to rotate by 1, and it lowers the counterweight by 1. The left one appears to lower the bottom, rotate the bottom 2 by 1, and the top one rotates the top 2 by 1. You can pull this to reset it back to the original state. And one thing that is not initially obvious to do is that you can click and hold it, and this happens where the middle one continues to rotate even if the top or bottom one do not. And that is the solution to beating this puzzle. We need the numbers 2, 2, 1. So we'll rotate the top one to 2, we'll rotate the bottom one to 1, and that is bad of me because we need to keep holding it. Okay, so we have 2 and holding it so that the middle will keep rotating. Make 2, 2, 1. Now it continues all the way to the bottom, and oh, it looks like a little gear has opened. Can't do anything with it here, but where have we seen this gear before? Why don't we head back to where the tower was looking? There's a good view of the tower from the original viewpoint. I've tried fixing this weird crackles on the skyline. I think we're just going to have to live with it. What was that? There was a note on the ground. Catherine, I left you a message of utmost importance in our 4 chamber beside the dock. That must be the place with the weird lights. Enter the number of marker switches on this island into the imager to retrieve the message. Yours, Atris. So, how many marker switches do we have? Actually, I think we will continue this in the next video because it looks like we have exposed something. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello and welcome. Jumpy coming at you once again with some more Myst. In the last episode, we have opened up this gear to reveal a mysterious book inside. But we also noticed a note on the ground which said, we need to enter the number of marker switches on the island into this small room under the docks to reveal a secret message that Atris left for Catherine. So there's 1, there's another one up by the gears, which makes 2, 3, 4 over by the spaceship, 5 by this little fake ship, 6 on the right, 7 over by the White House, by the clock tower, and an 8th by this wooden hut. So let's go and enter the number 8 and see what we can get. Might shed some light on this mystery. Ha ha ha. Sorry, I never grow old of this. Of that. Let's see what message has been left. Number will be 8.
Catherine, my love, I have to leave quickly. Something terrible has happened. It's hard for me to believe. Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine,
as we saw in the library open.
I suspect Acheron, but I shouldn't leap to conclusions. I'll find him and Cirrus as well. Oh, I should have known better than to have left my library unchecked for so long. Well, I've removed the remaining undamaged books from the library and placed them in their places of protection. You shouldn't have to use the books until I return, but if you've forgotten the access keys, remember the tower rotation. Oh, and don't worry, Catherine, everything will be fine. I'll see you shortly. Oh, and erase this message after you've viewed it, just to be safe.
Alright, so it seems like Catherine never saw this message because otherwise she would have erased it. But it sounds like Catherine and Atris are the parents of Cirrus and Acheron, who are now both trapped in their respective books. I wonder what happened to Atris and Catherine. But something bad has happened. So let's head on into the mechanical age and see if we can find something going on here. We got a picture in a book. The book takes you inside this book into the age.